and find Lewis Ward Jr.?
I just took a black stripe right off that buoy. There was black tape wrapped around it. Rain McCarran run over it last year and cut it. It's been peeling off ever since. Huh. Woohoo! Look at that nail, Dubba! Look at it! All right. Oh, I love it when I get a lobster like that. Look at that. Woo! Told you we'd get a big one over here, didn't I? Old Charlie Johnson trap.
I was 32 before I had my first lobster. And it was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. To make it even more humiliating, I learned to eat lobster. I not only learned to eat lobster, but I became expert in eating lobster. We twist the claw at this point. Break it off. Separate it at the joint. Not always the easiest food in the world to eat, but without question, the single most satisfying. Sometimes it's a bit of an engineering problem. But with determination, faith, and a little hope, we can solve all such problems. This may well be the greatest lobster I've ever eaten. A claw like that is worthy of a museum. My God. I have never yet been defeated by a lobster.
I hate these things. Let's hide in the corner.
Yay!
I don't even have to measure that one. Without by looking at it. But I will. Go ahead, Jamie.
Some feel a claw is the best part of the lobster. There are differing opinions on the matter. This is a rare lobster. I have never yet been challenged to this degree. By a lobster. This is what you call a hard shell lobster.
these are all little tiny hermit crabs.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Little hermit crabs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that little bugger. Huh.
Sometimes you just have to have a different approach. Sometimes the lobster resists. You have to understand the natural resistance of a lobster to be easily. My God, I've never seen a lobster of such incredible richness and beauty. Light years removed from the cheeseburger. Not too much. Miles ahead of filet mignon. One should not drink too much. A fine accompaniment to a noble creature.
Welcome to Fabrizio's Country Store. Watch this. Am I going all the way? See the sign?
Fabrizio's Country Store.
That's it. Look around. Aisle 1, sir. If you don't mind, take the number of the aisles right here. Back up just a little bit. Back up. That's my boy. That's
This is aisle 1.
And there's aisle number 2.
Aisle number 2 right down here.
Yes, sir. So aisle number 2 we have. And this is my counter. By the way, I'd like to have this, sir. As you leave, put one of these in your car. Thank you. And then we have another entrance here.
It's 100 and overall franchise.
This is our stock room. We keep our stock here.
Uh-huh.
As you see, this is all my coolers we keep nice and cold for the customers. I'll tell you one thing. We serve our customers #1. You neighbor, we got it.
All right.
And now and then we have music for the customers.
All right.
You notice now?
Yeah.
What else can I tell you? We got batteries. We got everything you can see. Cigarettes and everything.
All right.
I wish my customers wouldn't smoke, sir, because it's bad for the health. But then I can help them. They come by, they want it. I keep telling them, don't smoke, please. But you know how it is.
How easy that was?
What's that?
How easy that was?
Yeah.
Because I could flip down and see which way it was wrapped around the rock. I just had to let out enough rope so it would come down underneath that rock.
Huh. Good thinking.
This ain't my first time doing it. You can tell that. Oh boy, we're gonna do good today.
All right.
Looks like it. Yeah, that guy been inside and watch you taking over there. Detail right there.
Detail. Oh yeah.
It just doesn't have the eggs on it because that's an old dig.
Yeah.
You cannot win them all. There are those who like the soft shell lobster. It's true. There's no question. It may be a trifle easier to eat. Some feel that way. But most of us, genuine lovers of lobster, appreciate lobster more for the minor difficulties which we may encounter in the achievement of our goal. Ah, the claw, the noble claw. Finally, the game is worth the candle.
Told you we might see one.
Pretty good fishing here in this shoal water though, ain't it?
Yeah. Most of the time. Fine sometimes too. Laugh at it though. I've scared myself down here before.
I have too.
Hurricane Gloria there, was it 2-3 years ago we had, I scared myself. We had a good sea for 2 days before the storm ever hit, you know?
Yeah.
I'll get all these people. I'm like a shepherd. I get my flock coming over to me and ask me questions, and I try to help them out the best I can.
Oh, yeah.
Up here, there's a lot of fishermen. You understand me, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
They work in the summertime, and in the wintertime, they kind of do pray a little bit.
Oh, is that
to
right?
guide them, yeah, to get little lobsters here and there.
I see.
God bless them all.
I don't see anything wrong with a little trouble. Eat anything as succulent. We have come to. This is some lobsters are a major experience. Touch of wine, prepare us for the final attack. The carapace, the tail. We cleverly and simply detach them thus. Detach the fins thusly. Push out. The tail. Now there are those who prefer to open up the tail, and sometimes they have a point when it's especially hard to push the tail out in the hard shells. we might have to break it apart to get at this most succulent portion of the lobster. The tail. It is only normal for a beast so succulent to armor itself against those who would exploit it without sufficient appreciation of its subtle virtues.
This ain't no fair, dude, just to see what I get out of my track.
I already hauled here, so it don't matter.
There's a mighty midget, too. Don't be cheeky, dude.
1, 2.
That one's ready to forward out of the shell, too.
Okay, I'll write this down.
We're taking a movie of it, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
That's a mighty midget, too, Richard.
3 lobsters on a one-night set. Then when I get on the floor. We have a close-up here.
Should've got the other one for both of them. That would've been nice. That's a midget right there.
Oh yeah. Shorter and smaller.
Two-night set, I'm putting it right back there, look.
2 night?
Gonna be. No, that's one night.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's gonna be 2 nights, though. Because your engine gun didn't win. Go that way.
Go ahead, just throw it. I'll run it over for you.
A small slit down the back, generally recommended to look for the intestinal vein, which may or may not be present. I have often wondered why some lobsters don't seem to have the intestinal vein, but it doesn't seem to bother them. Consequently, I do not allow it to bother me. And on to the devouring of the most succulent food in the world. The king of lobsters.
Now, I'm talking about, I should say about 40 years ago, I studied to be a priest.
Is that right?
Yes, right. And I thought myself, why shouldn't I come up to be a bishop and then jump right up to the Pope?
Is that,
Today, I would have been Pope Lawrence the First.
is that right?
But this little Pope beat me to it. I didn't like the way the things run when I was going down to be a priest. But I'll tell you, sir, there's nothing like it. I'm pure today, and I feel pure, and I'll always be pure. When the Lord upstairs calls me, and the good Lord himself knows that I'll sit right by his right hand, me and St. Peter. In other words, they start calling me down here, Father Lawrence.
Yeah, that trap is laying on its side, the whole back side of that's covered in mud.
So who got this all started?
Boat races, Andy Johnson and Roy Knight.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Huh. All right, sounds good.
August 16th, it's a Sunday. I was thinking about charging, making a parking area in my old man's field.
Yeah, sounds good.
Seriously,
Yeah,
you know, $2 a car for the afternoon.
yeah,
Cheaper than they're gonna go to the concert and pay in like a parking garage, you know?
that's right.
That's $5. Ah, nice one. Real soft too, look at it.